Welcome everybody. Welcome to my Pilates class this evening. It's going to be a bit of a mashup, bit of all sorts going on this evening. It's an opportunity for those of you who are maybe not as familiar with me, just to get an idea of how I teach. Those of you who are familiar with me, hopefully making it a little bit more interesting, and you're not repeating too much of what we've done over the last couple of days. But it's all about Pilates, all about movement, strength, mobility, etc. We're going to come down onto the floor to start with. So I want you, please, just to bring yourself down onto your back. All right, knees are bent, feet are on the floor. Just relax your arms down by your sides. Now, I talk with my hands. I can't help it. So all the time I'm nattering away at you, my hands are all over the place. And sometimes I'm going to move my arms out of the way just to demonstrate or to let you see me more clearly. But for here and now, I'm going to ask you just to have both arms either side of you, arms along, and we're just going to start with some pelvic tilts. I want you to flatten your back, press the back of your rib cage heavy as you can into the floor, tip your hips backwards, and then arch your back and see how much space you can make between the back of your rib cage and the floor, and then again flatten. And I want you to just tilt your hips as far forward and as far backward as you can. Imagine if you had a marble sitting in your belly button. You're going to roll it out between your legs and then roll it back up towards your chest. Now, as you're doing this, keep your knees still. Watch you're not letting your knees wobble in and out. And also, I want you to notice any movement through your shoulders and through your head. Ideally, your head sits completely still. So don't create any tension, but just notice if your head's trying to nod a bit. That tells you maybe a little bit of a tight spot there through the middle spine. Now, I want you just to go from that very, very arched shape, from the very, very flat shape to just in the middle, okay? So find that neutral shape, so you're neither flat, neither arched. You've got that natural curve through your lower spine. And I want you now, please, just to take your hands around your rib cage and breathe. Breathe deeply. Breathe in for a count of 5 and breathe out for a count of 5. And I want you to feel that as you breathe in, I want you to feel how the ribs expand into your hands. And as you breathe out, I want you to feel the muscles around your ribs contracting and see how much you can pull your ribs in and down and make the breath audible. So as you breathe out, literally breathe out as fully, as heavily as you can, and just feel those muscles working there, because we want to get the breath to travel in a sideways fashion. We talk about lateral thoracic breath with Pilates, so that we can engage the abdominals without impacting on our breath, so that we can pull those abs in as tight as we need to without having to hold our breath. So let's just have another half a minute or so here, just becoming familiar with breathing into the ribs and just see how the ribs expand. And then again, as I say, breathing out, feel that contraction of the ribs. Now, what I want you to do is move your hands down to your belly, rest your hands sort of between your hips, and we're just going to bring one leg up into tabletop and then lower down and wait until your foot is flat on the floor, and then lift your second leg. Just simply climbing the stairs. But what I want you to do is notice as you lift and lower that you're not letting your tummy push up into your hands. So throughout this, very gently, you're drawing down and away from your hands, only as much as you absolutely need to prevent you from going into an arch, to prevent you from letting your belly dome. Now, if this is enough for you this evening, you're going to stay here. But if you want to take it up a level, you're going to bring both legs into tabletop, do exactly the same thing, but in reverse. So rather than lifting and lowering, you're going to start with a lifted leg, lower down, and then lift back up. And from here, if you wish to progress it a little bit further, as one leg's coming up, the other leg is going down. So we're just going to an adapted version of scissors. Bring your arms back down by your sides, and let's just do a few more here. So you've got 3 options as to how you're working. But what I want you to think about is keeping that equal weight underneath you, so you're not tipping from side to side. You're still able to breathe into your ribs. You're still keeping your belly button pulled down and in. Let's just do another 4. And for 3. Just a couple more. And again. And bring both feet back down to the floor. And let's just go back to those pelvic tilts again, just to release through the hips and ask for a little bit more mobility through the lower back. So arms long by your sides, tip your hips backwards, and then release away, keeping your knees in line. Watch your knees don't wobble. And we're going to take this one a bit further. We're going to start to move into a shoulder bridge. So the next time you tip your hips backwards, I want you to pick up your tailbone. Imagine trying to pull your tailbone right up between your legs. Peel your spine up, off the floor, and just hold it here. Now in this position, try to press the floor away from under both arms. Try to push your knees away from you. Imagine pushing your knees towards the wall in front of you. Give your shoulder blades a slight squeeze together. Give your glutes, your buttock muscles a little squeeze. Now you're going to come back down, and I want you to think about making your back as rounded as possible, and imagine the links of a chain. As you curl down, just travel through the links, one link to the next, keep those knees in line, don't let your knees fall away, all the way back down, and find that neutral shape that we started with. Let's go again, tip your hips backwards, pick up your tailbone, and really have a sense of lengthening. So you're not just lifting, you're trying to push your hips forward and away from you. So when you get to the highest point, imagine I'm kneeling in front of you and I've got hold of your hips and I'm trying to literally pull them away from your ribs. Get a little bit higher there. Keep your knees in line. Watch you're not rolling onto your little toes. Maybe a little bit more weight into the balls of the feet. And slowly does it start to curl back down. Now let's keep this one going, but rather than holding it at the top, let's keep moving. And we do another 4 or 5 like this. So just peeling your spine up and away, really opening up, lengthening through the front of the hips and rolling back down. Now, if you're feeling a lot of work in the backs of the thighs, if your hamstrings are a little too dominant, give that bum a good squeeze. Wake those glutes up, get them working a little bit harder. Maybe don't lift quite so high if that's not helping you. Maybe it's something we need to work on. Okay, let's just do a couple more of these. So breathing out as you roll up, stay open through your chest, keep that space between the collarbones and back down. And we're going to just do one more here. Again, watch you don't roll onto your little toes, a little bit more weight into the ball of the foot and curling back down. All right, now from here, just find that neutral shape again that we found. Remember when we rocked forward and backward to find that neutral shape through the pelvis. And I want you to bring one leg into tabletop. And all you're going to do is extend your leg long so that your knees are in line. Little flex of your foot. Point your toes and recover. Okay, out long. Flex your foot. Push the sole of your foot away and recover. What we're doing here is setting a path, setting the journey that we're going on, because we're going to bring this into the bridge exercise as an option. It may be a little more than you want to do tonight, but it's just an option. So let's just do a couple more on this side. Now notice that the other leg doesn't move. So that foot is square to the floor, that knee is stable. We're doing one more on this side. Send that leg out long, just so that your knees are in line, no lower. Bring it back to the center. Hold your leg here. Now just tighten that belt around your center and lift your second leg. Then bring your first leg back down. And let's do the same thing on this side. A little flex and recover. So send your leg out long. Now the golden rule, always keep your bottom back ribs against the floor. The moment your bottom ribs pop up, you're no longer going to be in that neutral shape through the pelvis. Your lower back is going to be a little bit arched. You're going to lose that deep TVA connection. Okay, we're thinking about getting really deep into those deep stabilizing muscles to help maintain a perfect posture so that we can then work from there. Let's just do one more on this side. Send your leg out long, a little flex of the foot. Point your toes and come back and bring your foot to the floor. Now we're going to bring that one into bridge. We're going to layer it though. So just to start with, I want you now to maintain a triangle. Whereas you tipped your hips back before, this time keep your pelvis neutral and lift straight up. So whereas we tilted and we peeled the spine up, now we're going to lift straight up. Hold it here. If this is enough for you, I'm going to ask you to hold a static pose. Otherwise, we're going to prep for the next exercise. We're not going straight into it yet. We're going to climb the stairs from here. Bring one leg into tabletop and lower and swap. Now watch that your hips don't move. A little check in here. A good way to check. Put your thumbs under your bum and put your little fingers on the floor and just make sure that you maintain that contact so that you keep your hips centered. Let's just do this one more time on each side. Alternatively, obviously, leaving your arms out of the picture. And bring your foot to the floor and then straight down to the mat. So we've got two options here. We can hold a static bridge. We can repeat the one we've just done. Otherwise, we're going to add that leg extension that we prepped for. So let's lift straight back up again and take one leg into tabletop. And from here, you're going to flex your foot, push out long, point, and draw it back. And again, now think about keeping that hip alignment, still breathing into your ribs, keeping those hips high. Let's do 3 more on this side. Push away if it's a little intense. Remember, you've got those 2 other options to go back to. Lots of load through the supporting side as we just hinge through that working hip. Come back in and bring your foot to the floor. There shouldn't be any shift through the pelvis. Let's take the second leg away. Now you might here need to just have a check-in. Maybe those hips have dropped down. Perhaps lift them a little higher. Flex your foot, knees in line. Point as you draw it back in. And breathe. Breathe out to lengthen. Breathe in, return. Watch your hips starting to drop down. Breathe out to lengthen. And return. Can we just squeeze 3 more out? Press into your supporting foot. Watch that the hip on that side doesn't drop down. Well done. Can we just do that one more time? Lot of gluteal focus, right? Bring your foot to the floor, lower your hips and give your knees a little hug. It's a bit of a spicy one, that one. Well done. Okay, just give your knees a hug. Maybe roll your head side to side a couple of times. All right, bring your feet to the floor. Now we're going to do some roll up into seated work. We're going to start with our legs in a 3/4 pose. So not fully straight, not fully bent. So you're resting on your heels. Now a little tip here, if you know that getting up off the floor is a bit challenging, I've got a great way to get around that. So I want you to bring both arms up overhead. Now, as your arms go overhead, please watch you're not letting your ribs flare open. So still keeping those back bottom ribs on the floor. Circle your arms around, have your hands palms down. Slide your hands into the curve of your lower back. Lift your head, press into your hands and ta-da! Here you are, quickly smooth down your hair, tuck your hair behind your ears, make yourself a bit more presentable, and here we are. So that is an option if the roll-up is a little bit challenging. All right, let's curl back down. Through a rounded spine, rolling back down, take your arms overhead. I'm going to do that one more time. Circle the arms around, slide your hands into the curve of your lower back, palms down, little nod of your chin, pressing into both hands, bring yourself back up, and here's your arms. Alternatively, you're going to roll up with your arms out long. So let's have that as an option too. So don't forget, use your hands underneath you if you need a little bit more support. Otherwise, rolling up. And when you're sitting tall, drop those shoulders. Get that length through the spine. Let's do 2 more like this. And then we're going to add the spine stretch to it. So you've still got the option of popping your hands into the curve of your lower back, still keeping your knees bent, rolling up and coming into a seated, strong spine position. Let's just do that one more time, curling down and away. Arms overhead as you take a breath in. And again, rolling yourself back up. Okay, now let's take our legs out long. So I want you to start with your feet flexed. If you want to stay with your knees slightly bent, as we just did, then of course that's an option. I'm always layering things, trying to give us as many options as possible. Feet long, feet flexed. Look at your little toes in line with your big toes. So what we typically do, if you imagine my hands and my feet, we typically let the little toes roll away from us so they're further away than the big toes. So pull your little toes back towards you. Fire up what we call the lateral chain of muscles down the side here. As soon as your little toes roll away, you completely lose this anchorage. Okay, so legs are together, feet are flexed, pull those little toes back and sit tall. Now, glue your sit bones onto the floor. Bring your arms out in front of you. Take a nod of your chin. And I want you to reach your arms forwards without rolling in front of your sit bones. So you're going to very slightly Push your waistband backwards. Push your bottom ribs backwards as you pull your arms forwards. Hold it here. Now point your toes. Hold your head between your arms and start to curl back down. That's a little bit more intense. So if you want to go back to those bent knees, that absolutely is your option, okay? Take your arms up overhead. Now, can you hold your head between your arms as you come back up? That may not suit you this evening, and you may prefer to bring your arms out in front. That's fine. Flex your feet and reach forward. Let's do one more of these. Point your toes as you curl back down. Drop those shoulders. Make your spine as rounded as you can. Squeeze those abs, breathing into those ribs. Work slowly. Buy yourself plenty of time to think about what you're doing. So bring your arms out in front of you. If you need a little bit more support, that's fine. Don't forget, as you flex your feet, pull your little toes up towards you and reach forward. So in this spine stretch position, as I said, watch that you haven't sat in front of your sit bones, you're on top of them. Now sit tall, and I want you to stack your hands one on top of the other to the back of your head. And we're just going to throw in a little spine twist here. Now try not to interlink your fingers. Everybody wants to do this. And what it means is you get a little bit wafty through the wrists. If you stack your hands like so, you can then press your head into your hands, press your hands into your head, and you get this lovely closed chain and this really strong connection. Okay, so one hand on top of the other, elbows are wide, and I want you to turn away to one side. Can you grow a little bit taller? Come back to the center, look at those feet, where have they gone? Little toes in line with big toes, turn to the opposite side. Come back to the center. Now watch your feet don't march. So a little trick here. As you turn away, the side that you're turning to, ever so slightly, try and push that foot forward. Back to the center. And as you come to the center, can you grow a bit taller? Away to the opposite side. And come back. Let's just do that one more time each way. I want you to really feel the rib cage rotating above a stationary pelvis. Hips sit still, ribs rotate. And as you come back through, you're growing taller and taller and taller. Now come back to your center, and you're going to open your arms out wide, bring them around in front, point your toes and roll to the floor. So we're going to put those two moves together. Remember, you've got the option of still having your knees bent and putting your hands underneath you if you need to. So you're going to roll yourself back up, come into spine stretch, sit tall, stack your hands, turn away to side one, come back center, turn away to side two, come back center. Let's do that one more time. Open your arms, bring them out in front, little nod of your chin, toes are pointed, drop those shoulders, rounded through the spine, legs together, squeeze the glutes, squeeze the quads, arms overhead, breath in, breath out, and squeeze that bum, squeeze those thighs, keep that pelvic floor connection rolling all the way up, feet are flexed, reaching forward, staying on your sit bones, and sit tall, stack your hands one on top of the other, and let's just go into our spine twist here, one more to each side. And then we're going to bring just one more exercise into the mix. So come back to the center, and I want you just to take your feet now to the width of your mat. You can have a bend of those knees if you need that. So you're a little bit tight in the backs of the thighs, that's an option for you. Otherwise, legs are straight. Hands still stacked one on top of the other, but a good practice is each time you go back, try and swap the order of which hand is on top, just so you don't favourite anything. Now, from here, we're going to go into a sort of a mashup of a saw. So what I want you to do is take your right elbow towards your right knee with your left elbow to the ceiling. Come back up. Left elbow towards left knee. And come back up. Let's do that one again. But please watch that as you take your right elbow down, you are pressing your left sit bone down. Okay? Left elbow down, pressing your right sit bone down. Feet are flexed, pushing the soles of your feet up against the wall in front of you. Let's do that one more time each way. And then, hey, guess what? Good news, we're putting it all together. Isn't that fun? Yes, I think it is. And back to the center, equal weight under those sit bones, strong through the lower body. Lower body is anchoring you down. Okay, come back to the center. Open your arms out wide, bring them around together. So now we're going to go for a wide leg roll down. So a little bit less support because we haven't got our legs together. So think about pelvic floor connection, deep abdominal connection. Let's go. We're going to roll down, toes are pointed, legs are wide. Rolling down, take a breath in. And as you breathe out, roll yourself back up. Now this time I want you just to stay sitting tall. Hands to the back of your head, and we're going to twist into the spine, turn into the spine twist, back to the center and away. Back to the center, and we're going to go into that little saw mash-up. Elbow to knee, up to center, and over. So a little bit of obliques work here as well. And back to the center. Open your arms wide and bring them around. 2 more rounds to go. Let's go. Toes are pointed. Curl down through a rounded spine. Squeeze those thigh muscles. Abdominals are super strong. And roll yourself back up. So again, as you sit tall, flex your feet. Stack your hands. Spine twist 1. Keep your feet in line. Don't let them march. Rotate. Spine twist 2. Back to the center. Elbow to knee. Up and over. Lift that upper elbow to the sky. Don't let it collapse. Opposite side, equal weight under those sit bones. Be careful not to rock side to side, back to the center. Let's do that one more time. Make this one your best one yet. Strong as you can through the center, still breathing into those ribs. Arms up overhead, take a breath and roll yourself back up. Sitting tall, lengthen through the spine. Hands are stacked, ready for spine twist. Let's go. Feet exactly in line and away. If you're starting to find it quite tiring, good. Shows how hard you're working. It's not meant to be easy. Never ceases to amaze me how many people think they're coming on for a lovely little stretch. Dare they ever say that? You can guarantee it's going to be a very, very tough class. And come back to your center and relax. Nice work. Well done. Okay. So come over onto one side, please. And I'm going to ask you to take your lower arm out long. Rest your head on your lower arm. Hips are stacked, upper hand to the floor in front of you, and bring your feet just slightly out in front of you, not too far, just slightly. So if you look down, you can see the tops of both feet. Let's go into our side kick. Now, this is all about strength through the center of the body. What goes on with the hip is secondary. Primary focus is strength through the center, which is why I like to follow it from the previous set, because I was really focusing on getting into those obliques and really getting strong through the center of the spine. So lift your upper leg and just try and push your foot away from you. So you get just a tiny bit of space here underneath your waist. Switch on those obliques lower side. Upper hand to the floor. If you're feeling ambitious and you want to take your hand away, go for it. That's your call. Flex your foot forward. Toes are pointed and back. We all know this one. Flex as you come forward. Now press your lower leg into the floor. Get your lower leg heavy as you can. But what I want you to think about as you're traveling your leg is very slightly pushing your ribs into the back of your t-shirt. So you don't arch your back. 2 more, couple more here. And back. Keep that rib to hip connection. Let's do that one more time. Forward and back. So your focus, come to the center and hold it. Your focus is collarbone, hip bone alignment. So you are not rolling all over the place. What you do with your leg is secondary. How still you stay through your upper body, that is the most important bit. Now, we're going to turn the heat up on this one. If you want to stay where you are, that's fine. Otherwise, lift your lower leg. Now, flex your lower leg. Push the sole of your foot away. Lower leg stays still. Upper leg again. Kick forward and point back 6. And again, it's a little less stability here. If this is a little intense, you're very welcome to bring your lower leg back down to the floor. Not intense enough? How about you take your upper hand away? Let's do a couple. Whoa, where am I off to this evening? Oh, a little ambitious. I feel I'm overcommitted now. I've started, I'll have to finish. Okay, feel that strength through the center. Come back, kick that leg away behind you, back to your center, and lower down. Good old burn there. It's an excellent one to just wake up through the glutes there. All right, now what I want you to do is lift your upper leg, lift your lower leg, both legs together. Now we're going to scissor. Please don't let your knees bend. You're working from your hip, not from your knee. You're going to bring one leg forward and one leg back. Both legs are toes pointed. Now flex both feet and swap. Now point both feet and swap. Now flex and swap and point and swap and flex. I think you get the picture now, don't you? And again, let's do a couple more here. But lower leg is going to do its best to bend when it goes backwards. So focus on working through the hip. Now come back to the center, both legs together, and you're going to lift and lower 6. Lift. Come on, get into that waist upper side and lift. Lower 4. And again, squeeze that waist. We've got 3 or 2. I've lost count. We're about there. And 1. Oh my gosh, and bring it back down. Bend your knees and come up onto your elbow on your lower side. Well done. Quickly tucking your hair away. Knees are stacked. So you felt very much working through the waist on the upper side. Lower side should have been engaged, ideally, but with that last set, we were really hitting the upper waist, weren't we? Now we're going to get a little bit more focus into the waist lower side. Hips in line, and let's just lift. We're just going to lift the hips up and lower. I'm going to move my hand out of the way. Your arm's going to be hereabouts. Moving my hand out of the way. So just slide your hips up and down. And again, and I want you to really have a sense of trying to pull your ribs up. So when you lift, you're not putting the load into your shoulder. You're trying to pull your waist right up off the bottom of your t-shirt. If your hand was here, you're literally trying to pull your waist up like so. Let's do a couple more. So really hit those obliques and imagine how your spine is going to a side bend, lateral flexion, and come back down. Okay, so let's have another option here. If you feel tonight that's enough for you, that's great. Otherwise, you're going to take your upper leg out long. Okay, maybe you fancy taking your hand to the ceiling. Maybe you don't. That one's up to you. Let's go again. We're going to lift and lower. And again, lift. Great work, everybody. And lift. Well done. And lower. Let's do 3 more. And we're going to hold on the last one and 2. Now lift and hold, option to keep your arm here, bring it back down, option to hold this pose, otherwise your AirPod falls out, you quickly pop it back in a very professional kind of manner, and you take your lower leg out long, tuck it in and hold that static pose. You're very welcome to keep your lower leg as it was, otherwise from here, can we lift those hips a tiny bit higher? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, slide that lower knee back in, lower your hips back down, and bring yourself up to sitting. Fabulous work. Before we go on to side 2, we'll do something different because I always like to dilute it so that by the time we get to the second side, we've sort of forgotten how tough it was. Okay, so we're going to come down onto our back, please, again. And into double leg tabletop. Now we're going to go into a mashup of dead bugs here. I love dead bugs. It's such a great way to hit the sort of primary core muscle group. But we're going to throw a little bit more into the mix tonight. If you feel that this position this evening is enough for you, you stay right here. Okay, double leg tabletop, head down on the floor, and just focusing on keeping those back ribs heavy, waistband heavy, and you are very welcome to stay here. That's not a problem. Otherwise, what I want you to do is lift your head, get your shoulders off the floor, and I want you to take your right hand to the back of your head, support the weight of your head, take your left hand and press against your thigh. Okay, now keep pressing your left thigh, take your right leg out long and return. And again, out long. So you've got the weight of your head into your hand. You are pushing against that resisting leg. Okay? Remember, bottom back ribs heavy. Let's do a couple more. And then I'm going to give you one more layer here. This is enough for you. I don't blame you one bit. You stay here. Otherwise, take your hand away from your head and just rest it along your side. And let's just do another 4. Keep pressing on this leg. And for 3, don't let those shoulders collapse down. If you need to bring your head back down, remember you've got that option. And it's 2. Well done. Let's just do that one more time and come back in and just recover, because obviously we've got 2 legs, so we have to do it all over again. So you're going to take your left hand to the back of your head, lift your head. Remember, you've got the option of holding a static pose here if you'd like to come back to this one. Otherwise, left hand to the back of your head, right hand against the thigh, and let's go. So you're pressing on that right thigh as your left leg lengthens. Shoulder blades clean away from the floor. Bottom ribs heavy into the floor. Okay, extend on that breath out and breathe in. Let's do a couple more here. Then we have the option of taking the hand under the head away. If that doesn't suit you this evening, then don't do it. Otherwise, let's just do another 4. Keep pressing on this knee here. And for 3, well done. Good work. Couple more coming up. Squeeze into that center. Let's just do that one more time. Come back to the center. Now this time, take hold of the back of your knees and roll yourself up to sitting. Well done. Bring your hands onto the floor behind you. And I want you to sit up tall. Slide your shoulder blades down your back. Push your chest out and away and just stretch out those abs. Pull your collarbones apart. Give your shoulder blades a little squeeze. And relax. Great. We're going to do a couple more of those. I hope you're all having as much fun as me. I'm having a whale of a time. And relax back down. It's quite warm in here, actually. I think my heating might have come on. I didn't think that one through. And again, draw the shoulders down. Push your chest away. Lengthen up through those abs. Superb work, everybody. And relax. Let's come on to side two then. It's going to be like a little welcome break. You're going to think, what am I doing? I've forgotten all about it. And here we are. So, getting set up. AirPods are rubbish, aren't they? Absolutely rubbish. So, legs along. If anyone's got a bright idea how I can have two screens with one microphone, do feel free to share it with me. So, upper hand to the floor in front of you. You're going to lift your upper leg. Now, sorry, I'm slightly off the screen here. Push the sole of your foot away to get that waist connection. You're trying not to let your ribs collapse into the floor. You're trying to make yourself as long through your top line as you can. And you're going to kick forward and point back. So remember here that as your leg travels forward and backward, it's literally just a walking action, but your ribs stay completely still. You've got that straight line from collarbone to hip bone. So no matter where your leg goes, you're not changing the shape of your spine. Let's do a couple more here. Upper hand away if you feel like you can take that support away, but you're very welcome to get your hand here. All right. Great, now come back to the center, hold it here. You're very welcome to stay at this level to repeat it. Otherwise, we're going to lift the lower leg up. Now the lower leg now flexes. Push the sole of your foot away. Upper leg, we kick forward and point back. And I'm very aware that I took my hand away on side one, so I have no choice but to take my hand away. Whoopsie daisy, on side two, clearly not my best side. Squeeze into that waist on the lower side. Think about making the upper leg as long as you can so that you don't let your ribs collapse into the floor. You're trying to make this top side long, which means therefore you're short on the lower side and a little bit more oblique connection. Let's just do that one more time. And again, come forward and back to the center and lower back down. Well done. Brilliant. Now we're going to bring the upper leg away again and the lower leg. And now we're going into our scissors. So we're going to have both feet pointed, one forward, one back, flex and swap, point and swap, flex and swap, point. Don't forget, don't let that lower knee bend. Really work at pushing out of the hip. Let's do 4, swap, and 3. If this is too intense, you can work just with the upper leg exactly as we started, okay? Otherwise, we come back to the center and holding both legs together. Are you ready for a little double leg raise here to really hit the waist on the upper side? Little squeeze, get into those obliques top side. Let's do 6, 5, well done, 4, 3, 2, keep those muscles strong and bring it down. Bend your knees and come up onto your elbow on your lower side. Superb. So knees in line, hips in line, upper hand out of the way. I'm just wafting my arm around, as I said before, because I have to talk. I tell you what, if I couldn't move my arms, I would be a mute. And you're probably thinking that would be a wonderful thing. Okay, so we're going to lift those hips up and lower. Watch your head, by the way. Don't let your head collapse. So if you're not sure what to do with your head, you can turn and look at your forearm underneath you, okay? Just watch your head doesn't collapse. Let's do a couple more here. Lift, push your hips right up. Remember how you're trying to pull up into your waist on the lower side and come back down. So we have options here of how we're going to progress it. And again, I'm only making suggestions. If you don't feel that suits you this evening, that's okay. You'll stay at the level that you're at. You may choose to have a little rest and then come back in. Otherwise, upper leg out long. Are you ready? And we're going to lift and lower. So from here, you may choose to take that upper arm away. You may choose to leave your upper hand above you as so. I want you all the way through this to really work on pulling up into your waist. Think about trying to pull your ribs off the bottom of your t-shirt. Let's do a couple more. Wasn't counting, never mind. Let's do one more after this. Yeah, that's about right, I'm sure. And we're going to hold it here. So you've got the option of as you were here, or now take your lower leg out long, take your upper arm away, lift those hips a tiny bit higher and hold. Remember what I said about with your head? So if you feel your head's getting heavy, turn and look down towards the floor. Lift those hips 5, bit higher, 4, 3, 2, 1, and bring it back down. How are we doing for time? Oh, marvelous, loads of time. Got another spicy one coming up. Okay, let's just stretch that one out. So, seated position, bring one arm right up and take a good old stretch. Now, as your arm comes over, please don't do this. I've said this all the time. We are not a little teapot. We are a stretch. So get your arm long and then over. You're trying to increase the stretch, the distance from your armpit to your hip. And doing that is not doing anything. Okay? And then up and over. And also don't do that. So press this sit bone into the floor and then get this stretch through here. Well done. Let's do that one more time to each side. Over we go. Reach, 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 reach. Well done. Take a lovely old stretch here. And again, up and over. Well done. Okay, have a little breather. Now we're going to come into a face down position and we're going to go into a mash-up of the double leg kick. So if you don't know what the exercise is, don't worry, you're going to find out. And if you do know what it is, it's going to be slightly unfamiliar because I just like mixing things up because, you know, why not really? All right, so coming over onto your front. Now we know that typically we're a little bit weaker through our back muscles. So this is where we can struggle a little bit. So I'm going to give you lots of ways to adapt and ask you to please make sure that you stay safe. You're feeling challenged, but there's no discomfort through your lower back. So I want you just to come down, turn your head to one side. It would make good sense to turn your head to face the screen, but it's not up for me to say. Now, ideally, your legs are together. I know on Instagram my feet are slightly off the screen. Sorry about that. Legs are together, but if your legs don't like that, put your big toes one on top of the other and let your heels fall apart. So either feet parallel, legs together, or like I said. Now, take your hands behind you. Okay, and we're just going to work through the upper body and then we're going to bring the lower body into it. So as I said, it's not exactly the double kick that you may be familiar with. So we're just going to start and then layer again. I want you to lift your head, lift your chest, pull your arms down, squeeze your shoulder blades together. Now, please don't lift your chin. Keep the length in your neck. Turn your head, look to the opposite side, bend your elbows and lower. Lift. Squeeze your shoulder blades, chest nice and high. Turn your head to the opposite side, lower. Let's just do that one more time each way. Squeeze. Try not to get your glutes to do all the work. Try to relax the buttock muscles and really target your middle back. Hold your hands and pull against them. The stronger you are through your chest, through your shoulders, the more support you're giving to your upper back. Okay, so from here, we're going to add another layer. I'm just going to shuffle back so that you can see my upper body. I realise my legs are slightly off the screen. Let me show you where we're going here. All right, lifting up as you just did, but this time you're going to bring your arms right out in front as you take your head center and bring them around behind you as you turn to the other side and lower. It's quite tough, I'm going to be honest. Lift your head and chest. Bring your arms out in front as you bring your head to the center. Bring your arms around behind you as you turn your head to the opposite side and lower. Let's do a couple more. Lift. Bring your arms right out, head to the center. Circle your arms around behind you as you turn to the opposite side. One more here. Lift. Arms out long in front. And around behind you as you turn and lower back down. And oh my goodness, upper body needs a bit of a recovery. So leave your arms as they are. You're resting on one cheek, head turned to one side. Now bring your legs parallel. So if you did have one big toe on top of the other, have your legs parallel. You're going to bring your heels in. Try not to sit your bottom up in the air. Press your hips heavy to the floor, knees and feet together. And it's a little kick, 1, 2. and lower. Kick in. 1, 2, and lower. Okay, let's do a couple more of those. So when you kick in, you're having to really open and lengthen through the front of the thigh, top of the thigh into the hip there. So that's where you need to press into the front of the pelvis so you don't let your hips bounce up and down. Okay, we're going to put those two moves together. We'll start with the legs and then we'll bring the upper body in. Let's work super slow to just establish where we're going. So legs together, give the inner thighs a squeeze, bring your heels in, kick 1, 2. Now start to lower your legs, lift your head, lift your chest. Now take your arms away in front of you, head to the center. Circle your arms around, turn your head, and as you lower your head, bring your heels in, kick 1, 2, and lift your head and chest. Squeeze your legs together. Keep them really strong. Circle your arms around and kick in. 1, 2. Lift your head and chest. Circle your arms out in front as your head is center. Bring your hands behind you as you lower. Kick in. 1, 2. Can we do 2 more rounds here? And around. Well done. We're going to just do 1 more. Kick in. 1, 2. And lift your head. Lift your chest. Circle your arms around. And finish with 1 last kick. And relax, 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 relax. Bring your hands around. Push yourself up into 4-point kneeling and sit back to your heels and just have a little release here. Well done. Well done. Okay. So where would we be without a little V-sit? We can't miss out on that. Bring yourself around, please. Don't want those abs to feel neglected. They haven't had as much attention for a little while. Nearly done, just not quite. Okay, when it's like 3 minutes before the end of the class, don't think, oh, goody, lie down and stretch time. No, I don't think so. So, sit tall, knees bent, feet are on the floor. Bring your hands in behind your knees and just take a little nod of your chin and roll just behind your sit bones. Now, if you need to keep hold here, that's completely fine. Otherwise, bring your arms out. So if you're holding a static pose, you're going to stay here. If your arms are out, you're coming with me. Knees don't move. You're going to bring one elbow back, bow and arrow. Pull that elbow away, reach other arm forward. Come back to the center and rotate. Let's do that one again. Watch that your knees don't march. Watch that you don't shift the weight from sit bone to sit bone. And rotate. We're going to do that one more time to each side. Poor old obliques. They're like, oh, what have I done? What have I done to deserve this? And again, rotate away. Back to the center. Roll yourself back up. Okay, I expect you'd like to do that again, so we will. But you've got the option this time of going a little bit further. Now, please feel free to stay here and keep your hands here or work from here. Otherwise, a little bit further, but only keeping it in your abs. If it starts going to your lower back, please adapt. All right, let's go again. Reach that elbow away, stretch forward and rotate. And again. Keep your knees still, watch your knees don't march. And rotate, equal weight under those sit bones. And again, we're having so much fun. I think we should do a few more. It seems a shame to finish now. And rotate, should we do 2 more to each side? Yes, okay, no problem. And again, 1 more to each side. Knees stay still. Rotate, last one coming up. And come back to your center. Roll yourself up, come into a lovely forward dive, up and over. Take a little stretch here, well done. Now, it breaks my heart to say it, but it actually does have to be the end now. Feel pity, just getting warmed up, weren't we? So let's just have a little release. Come down onto your back. Okay, put your knees and feet together. Take your arms away. Just drop both knees over to one side and turn your head away. And in this position, we know that we've really hit the waist muscles. So in this position, send your breath into your upper ribs. Really big in breath. And just try and expand the rib cage. And as you breathe out, maybe take your knees a tiny bit further. And then bring your knees back to the center and over to the opposite side. Turn your head away. And again, a couple of really good breaths here. So as you breathe in, you're trying to expand the rib cage on the upper side to give you even more stretch. Let's do 1 more to each side. Up and away. Get that rotation. Breathe into the waist muscles. Well done. So we did some side lying, we did some work on our back, we did some work on our front, we did some seated work. Had it all going on this evening, pretty balanced, all things considered. Okay, now from one side, roll yourself over and bring yourself, please, into 4-point kneeling. We started on the floor, so we're going to finish standing. Bring yourself into a square box, and I want you just to come into a cat stretch. Make your back as rounded as you can. And relax away. Let's do that one again. Round your spine. Hold it here. Tuck in your toes. Lift up your hips. Push your hips right up to the ceiling. Press your heels to the floor. Feel that stretch through the back of the lower legs. Great work, everybody. Now, you're welcome to bend your knees when you need to. Walk your hands back towards your feet and just hang. If you need a little bend of those knees, go ahead. Watch here. Sit bones above heels, not behind heels. Okay, so watch you're not sticking your bum out behind you. Slowly roll yourself back up. Keep those abdominals connected as you rebuild your spine all the way back up. Take your arms to the ceiling. Circle your arms just a couple of times. I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, no, it can't be over already. Surely not. That's what I'm thinking. Okay, relax your arms. Turn and look over one shoulder. Back to your center. Look over your other shoulder. Come back to your center, and you have been amazing. Well done. Thank you so much for joining me, everybody. I really hope you enjoyed it. Definitely some comments there for me to look at. Don't forget, we're here tomorrow at 7 o'clock as well. Tomorrow, working with small weights. If you don't have weights, tins of beans, small bottles of water, anything like that will be fine. And I really hope to see you then. But thank you so much for joining me, everybody. Lovely to see you. Well done.